to go. Tell me what is wrong or what is right. What is right? 'Cause now it's too late, too late, too late, too late, now it's too late, too late, too late, too late, now it's too late.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk on TFTG. This is Papa Paul, your host, and let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Mr. Johnny O.
What's up, Papa Paul? How are you, brother? Good to see you.
I'm above ground and upright. That's about all I can say today.
Best place to be, brother.
Yep. It's like Miss Relentless, 9-month member, of TFTG. Where do we go from here? That's a good fucking question.
Well, our intro kind of says it. It's too late. 0-3. We got a $55 million a year quarterback who throws picks in the fourth quarter when he's either trying to take a lead or tie the game. Yeah, you're supposed to be the guy. You got paid all this money. You hemmed and hawed over it. You bitched and complained over it. For whatever reason, and I'll still never understand why they didn't franchise him, because this would have been a way to get out of it, but they didn't. They gave him the big contract, and 2 games in a row, he's proved he ain't the guy. And anybody that's watched our show knows I've always supported Tua because he's our quarterback, but it's getting harder and harder to support him. God damn, bro. You're making $55 million a year, and you're throwing picks. And then our coach, his head is so far up his ass, it's unbelievable. How do you have Zach Sealer and other starters on your punt return team? You got 55 guys on a roster. You're putting your captain of your defense on the punt return, and then he tried to make a play. Dumb play, but he tried to make a play and, gave the ball right back to Buffalo. But that, to me, that's coaching. What is Sealer even doing out there on a punt return?
Yeah. Anthony Mazzano, Derek Simmons, welcome to the panel.
What's up, guys?
I'm to the point with, like, you guys seen the success with this team, and you've seen the bad. I've only seen the bad with the Dolphins. I'm to the point where I'm almost to take my emotions when I'm watching these games out of it. I'm starting to watch a guy like Justin Herbert. I understand it's horrible and it feels like I'm betraying the team, but can you guys understand why I'm doing it? Like, I'm losing patience with this team.
Listen, I watch a lot of other games and I watch a lot of other teams, and I watch these other $50 million quarterbacks, and they're not throwing picks in the fourth quarter of close games. And Tua wants to be the man. Well, goddamn it, be the man. Make the plays. Get the ball where it's supposed to be.
And where are these Dolphins fans, Johnny, that we're comparing Tua to Dan Marino?
Well, if you could listen, anybody that compares Tua to Marino is an idiot. Marino played
or
17
even
years.
Drew Brees.
Oh, you can't compare him to Drew Brees. I mean, Drew Brees had a much longer career, played great for the Chargers and then for the Saints. I mean, it's you can't compare somebody 5-6 years into somebody that played 17 years, 15 years, 20 years. I mean, yeah, people want to hope that he's the next Marino. Guys, we're never going to have another Marino. We're looking for the next great quarterback to be able to take us somewhere. Nobody since or before Marino could release the ball as quick as he did. So stop looking for the next Marino.
And coming out of that draft, the comparison I always had for this kid, he's basically a Walmart version of the guy who played for the Broncos. Not Elway, the guy after him. My God,
Manning?
No, not Manning. The guy between Manning and Elway, Plummer, Jake Plummer.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically Plummer with less mobility and stuff like that. Like, and I feel that Greer, to be honest, has screwed us back. Ever since Jimmy Johnson left, it feels like we've struggled with hiring the wrong people and drafting horribly and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say we draft horribly. I mean, no GM hits on every pick. It's just not possible. I mean, we're fans of the Dolphins, so that's what we focus on. But there's plenty of teams that guys draft in the first, teams draft guys in the first, second, third round. They don't pan out.
They have a lower percentage of fail. Like the successful franchises have a lower percentage of failure.
Well, the better franchises seem to find that guy that, they pluck out in the first round and somebody's like, wow, why did they take him? And then he turns out to be a superstar or a very good player. And, I mean, I wouldn't say that Greer's a failure. Being a GM is not an easy job. I mean, you're listening to your talent evaluators, your scouts, you're watching film.
He was the head of the scouting department, Johnny. That's the issue. Like, before he became the GM, he was the head of our scouting department. And he was the one and he was the one in charge of hiring the people to scout. It seems like there's a correlation of him being the head of the scouting department and scouting the wrong players and him being a horrible GM. There's a correlation there, Paul. Do you guys agree?
Well, no, because I wouldn't say he's a horrible GM. Because name me a GM that hits on every pick they take. Name a GM that every trade turns out to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's plenty of teams.
My thing is, Johnny, and thank you for having me on the show, Papa, and everybody. But I had to chime in on this. Oh, my blood pressure, man. This is just. I mean, look, I get what you guys are saying. I get it. But no one's ever been in the league for 9 years. I mean, Anthony just said it. He helped scout Deion Jordan. He helped scout Jonathan Martin. He franchise tagged Mike Gesicki, then cut him the next year. I mean, this past season, we traded away Jonnu and who else did we get rid of? And we got rid of
Ramsey.
We got rid of Ramsey and Jonnu. We get back Minka, which we haven't seen in the past 3 games, and we're still waiting for Waller. I mean, I just don't understand how this guy ends up having 9 years in this organization. And I get what you're saying. It's hits and misses. I get it. But the majority of his hits don't stick. And the ones that miss, they flourish elsewhere. And I just don't understand. This is where it baffles me because, I mean, he's great with the money aspect. With the money aspect, he's great. But the player personnel, you guys are seeing it, man. You guys are seeing it.
Yeah, I don't understand why we still have Waller on the team even. I mean, we should just cut our losses right there and get someone else.
And I wouldn't say he's a great money manager because he's given contracts to people who didn't really deserve it, to be honest, like extensions. Well,
I was just trying to be lenient. But, I mean, it's just 9 years. No general manager in the NFL lasts more than 4 years, and this guy has almost 2 stints. It makes no sense. And when you ask questions, they try to detour it. It's like, you shouldn't be asking those questions. No, I'm going to ask those questions because nobody gets 9 years, doesn't make a second round playoff, and then gets rewarded for failure. I just don't understand it.
Oh, I agree. We need to fire him. I mean, but the problem is, you fire him, who you bringing in?
Actually,
You got three general managers in that room. You got Champ Kelly, which you just got from the Raiders, and then you got Marvin Allen. I don't know what the hell Marvin Allen does, but he needs to do something. You got that general manager room full of GMs in training, and you're telling me none of them can overpass what he says?
No, and it feels like to me those guys are just. Greer is the one that has the final say, and I feel he doesn't listen to the two guys who have experience building successful teams and drafting well in Champ Kelly, and he just ignored. I think Champ Kelly and I said this. Those two guys were the ones that wanted Herbert, and they got ignored and stuff like that. Like
no, that was McKenzie. That was McKenzie. Then McKenzie went to Tennessee.
It was them three. No, it was them three. It was all three of them. They wanted Herbert.
No, Kelly wasn't here at the time. Kelly was with the Raiders.
Wasn't even here.
Oh, he was? I thought he was already in our front office.
No, he was with the Raiders. Oh. McKenzie was the one you're thinking about, but then McKenzie left to the Tennessee Titans when Cam got drafted.
Yeah, and I feel that, like, I think his defenders, Greer defenders, just overlooked the, like, they obfuscate the responsibility. They blame everybody around Greer instead of putting the full blame on him when it comes to drafting. Like, and let's be honest, he's not been good with signing players. Like, he has this track record of, like, himself with contracts and trading for players. He's had a history of drafting players, signing players, and trading for players who have serious injury concerns that no rational and smart general manager would sign to an extension or trade for.
Well, that's your MO.
Yeah, that's his thing. That's his MO.
That's his MO. Go get somebody because I can pay them less because they're coming off injury, so I don't have to spend money on them. If they work out, great. We got them for a year, maybe two. If they don't, well, we didn't spend that much on them. He does it. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, he likes to accumulate capital in order to get more capital in the draft. Like, he's already done it twice where he gets 3 first-rounders. But what the hell are you going to do with those picks? You can get them. I give you that. You can get them. You can get a numerous amount of first-rounders. But what the hell have you done with those picks?
Yeah, and I would compare him to the general managers we had in between Bill Torrey, Dale Talon, and Bill Zito with the Panthers, where they would sign and draft the wrong players consistently, and we would be the laughing stock of the league consistently and stuff like that. Where the only reason why veterans would come here is because it was a retirement. We were viewed as a retirement franchise in the 2000s and the early 2010s and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to go get paid for a year? Go to Miami. They'll give you a contract.
Yeah, that's how I feel veterans view the. Even Calais Campbell, who left here, said he came here. He admitted he came here for an easy paycheck. Like, and he wasn't really. No one really. Do you guys think anybody listens to McDaniel in that locker room, or is it a free for all?
Well, McDaniel lost the locker room a couple of years ago, and these guys just don't care. I mean, when you got guys coming out saying, "Well, you know, on defense, well, we're doing our own thing because we don't know what's going on," and then you watch the game and he can't get a play in. Guys are standing there shrugging their shoulders, looking at the sideline, going, "What are we doing here?" I mean, it's absolutely absurd. Ross has the final decision, and for whatever reason, Ross doesn't want to get rid of Greer or McDaniel or.
We know why, Johnny. We know why, Johnny. We know why.
No, I know.
Think about it.
I know.
You know why.
I know. It's the whole Flores thing. Greer has all the info that he needs, because if he fires him and he lets all that stuff go to the NFL and they find out that Ross actually was trying to pay him $100,000 or did pay him $100,000 a game to lose, you know, we're going to lose more picks. We're going to lose this. There's going to be a fine. Might be suspension. You know, I mean, it's.
Could the NFL take full ownership of the Dolphins away,
No.
like how
No.
the NBA did with the guy who
With
previously
Stern,
owned the
what was his
Clippers?
name? The Clippers.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know, man.
Clippers.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that severe. I mean, but I mean, something will be done to us if they do find out that's what happens. That's a gimme.
Oh, absolutely. They'll take a first round pick. They'll suspend Ross, tell him he can't be in the building for 6 months a year. They'll pay, $10 million fine or something for doing it. And it'll just put us in a worse situation than we already are. Remember, we lost 2 first rounders, one because of them talking to Tom Brady. And what was the other one?
Sean
they
Payton and Tom Brady. Yeah, he got banned for 6 weeks and he got fined, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's all because of doing dumb stuff. You know the rules, don't do it. Listen, it's real simple. You're Stephen Ross. You want Tom Brady to come to the play for you. Send somebody else and just happen to be on the same boat and talk to him while you're there. Don't you set it up where there's a boat and you want Brady to get on it. Find out what Brady's doing and send some lackey to talk to him and say, hey, would there be any interest in coming to Miami?
Yeah, no, and this is, I feel like, and people who defend Ross too, actually say if he came in earlier, this stuff wouldn't have happened. Like if he took ownership of the team earlier than he did, which I think he came in 2009. What year did he come?
I don't. Right around there. I don't remember when he told it.
Paul, do you remember when exactly?
2009. It was one of those 2 that he came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and people who defend Ross say if he had full control of the team a lot earlier, like he was still dealing with like trying to buy all the stocks from Huizinga and stuff like that. If he had full control of the team earlier, he would have had full power to do whatever he want, like complete control of the team and stuff like that.
I've never heard that because once you buy the team, you have control, and it's been since 2009. You're talking 16 years.
Oh, so, no. I'm saying if these people are saying defending Ross, his ardent defenders say if he had full control, like in 2000, 2007, 2006, and stuff like earlier than that.
I've never heard anybody say that because Ross has had control for 16 years, and what has he done? Absolutely nothing. So, I mean, whether he bought a team in 2000, 2005, 2009, what the hell's the difference? When Huizinga bought the team from the Robbie family, he did the same thing. That's when shit started to go downhill.
Yeah, and I feel honestly, I hope we get eventually we give full power to the guy, Josiah, the guy, his other partner, because I've said this. His daughters and his children actually have done multiple interviews. They don't want anything to do with the team. They do not want anything to do with the team.
I'll tell you right now that Aries Management owns more than anybody else besides Ross.
Aries Management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They own 10%.
No, Josiah owns like 20% of the team.
Are you talking about the guy who is part owner of the Cubs or
No, he's a full owner of the Nets. Josiah's the owner of the Nets.
He does not have 20%. He has 2%.
Oh, I thought he had like a huge percentage.
No.
He's got 2%.
Okay, I've always assumed he had more.
Aries Management has 10%. And Aries Management is actually a publicly traded stock.
And every year when the value of the team goes up, Ross sells another small percentage to somebody, 1%, 2%, because he's still guaranteed to make his money. So he doesn't care. So every year when it goes up, he sells another little piece to somebody so they can say they're part owner of the Dolphins.
Yeah, and I've said this, Paul, too, that I feel Ross cares more about his billionaire buddies and Formula One than the product on the field for the Dolphins. He does not care about the Dolphins. He really does not. Like, and every time I say this, people say I'm crazy. Are you guys starting to feel that way too? That he cares more about other things outside of the Dolphins, like Formula One or catering to his billionaire buddies?
I've been saying it forever. The only thing he cares about is building his portfolio and making more money. He bought the team for just over $1 billion. It's worth 9 point something billion now. He built a racetrack. He built a tennis court. He built a new training facility. So he's invested money, but he has more than made his money, and he's just made his portfolio that much bigger.
Real quick, I want to shout out to the people on, in the comments. Cat in the Hat, Shake Money, Frost, as you know, Miss Relentless, John, Delusional Patriots fan. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. If you're over on X, make sure you come over to YouTube and hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate y'all for joining us.
And I'm to the point, I don't think we beat the Panthers. That's how bad it is, Johnny. I don't think we beat the Panthers.
I mean, there's no moral victories. They did play a little better this game against Buffalo. They seem more inspired. But come the fourth quarter, you have a chance to either take a lead or then you get the penalty on Sealer and you end up behind, and then you have a chance to tie it up. And our $55 million a year quarterback throws another pick. You want to be the man, goddammit. Make the play for us, not for them. And to his interview is always trying to make a play. Make a play for who, brother? Who are you making a play for? Them or us?
And it feels like he obfuscates responsibility. He doesn't take responsibility for his own actions. He blames the people around him. I think in that same interview he said
for months.
And in that same interview, I think he blamed the receiver for running the wrong route instead of throwing the interception.
Well, a lot of times when you watch it, they do run the wrong routes. And when Tyreek comes out in training camp and says, well, I really didn't know the playbook the last 3 years. Are you kidding me, bro? You're a professional athlete. You've played it 3 years. You got 1,700 and almost 1,000 yards, and you didn't know the damn playbook? Yeah, I mean, it's just the things that are being said in these interviews, whether it's Hill, Tua, McDaniel, it's absolutely ridiculous. Somebody needs to go in there and give them a class on how to talk to the media, what to say, what not to say. People wanted to break Belichick's balls for years because he never said anything. Well, there's a reason he didn't say anything. You don't look like an idiot when you don't open your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and McDaniel, I said this multiple times with McDaniel. He has that young Kyle Shanahan. Like, he basically is a Kyle Shanahan with, like, he has this weird thing that he has to be the smartest guy. He's like a Kyle Shanahan, where they have to be the smartest guy in the room, but McDaniel refuses to learn, like, improve himself. Shanahan has improved himself throughout his career. He's not making the same mistakes he was, but he's still making mistakes, but not the same ones. He's learning from his mistakes throughout the season. It seems like McDaniel is sticking to his guns and doesn't want to change and stuff like that.
Well, part of it is, and I'll agree with you because we need new plays, but part of it is when you have a quarterback who can't throw the ball with any kind of velocity and put it where it's supposed to be and throw it more than 40 yards downfield, you're calling plays for that. You know, you're stuck here because you have a coach who doesn't want to change. You have a quarterback who can't do the things that you need him to do. And, he comes on in an interview and says, oh, Josh Allen, I can't do half of what Josh Allen does. Then what the hell are we paying you $55 million a year for? Josh Allen could throw, he can run, he could truck a guy over, he could take a hit and still get the ball away. He's improved every year on his turnover percentage. So what the hell are we paying Tua $55 million a year for when he can't do half of what another starting quarterback that makes less money than him?
Yeah, and Johnny and Paul and Derek, there's another thing that people overlook when it comes to McDaniel too. Like, the people who want to defend him like crazy. So there's delusional fans in our fan base that defend this guy, that he refuses to change his, like, he wants to fit a square peg into a round hole, where he wants to use the same playbook that he uses for Tua for the backups. That's why backups fail here, because he doesn't want to adjust his playbook. He refuses
Trust
to
me,
adjust his playbook.
I have said that on our show many a times. When somebody else comes in, you got to adjust the playbook. You got to run plays for what they can do, not what Tua can do. Skylar Thompson is not Tua. He can't run the same plays. Skylar Thompson is a gunslinger. He wants to get rid of the ball. He wants to throw it downfield. So what are you running the same exact playbook for him that you did for Tua? And that's one of McDaniel's problems. He doesn't know how to adjust. He doesn't know how to fix things. He just keeps doing the same old thing, thinking, oh, it'll eventually work. No, it won't. God damn it. Did you watch the game on Thursday night? Damn near every time we threw a screen, Buffalo was all over it. Why? Because they knew what was coming. They knew exactly what we were doing.
And the one thing that's been bothering me, Tua has been the main captain on the team. You know, he's making us $55 million a year. And so what? Everything now, he started voicing his opinion more. Everything he's been so negative about everything. I can't do this. I can't do that. Comparing himself what he can do compared to Josh Allen. You can't be negative. And then if your captain's negative and you start surrounding yourself around negative people, you're only going to get even worse. Like that's the thing that's been bothering me. And I'm just wondering if this is all just, you know, stuff that's happened from him having the concussion, you know, the big one in Cincinnati. I don't know. And then it doesn't seem like he's getting any better. 90% of these interceptions he's throwing, he's staring down his receiver. He's not gotten better or tried to correct the mistakes. Like Josh Allen being elite, he's made, you know, differences to try to make things better. You know, if he threw a pick staring down somebody, the next game he tried to do it better and not have it happen again. Tua just keep consistently doing the same thing over and over and over. And then he just, you know, it's just like he got paid and he doesn't care. It's like,
no, and Derek, actually, his coach in college, Saban, actually said this too. And this should have been a massive red flag when Saban said this, that not only that he had to cut off half of the playbook for Tua, he had to tell his coordinators to coddle this kid because he couldn't understand the playbook, and he, like, if you criticize the kid, he couldn't handle criticism.
right. But we have to do something. Like, this is just, I mean, this is the first year. I'll still support my team no matter what, but I'm not excited to come to any of the games now to do anything besides like come to see everybody out before the game and after the game. That's the only thing that I'm excited for. Like, it's hard. It's really hard right now. And then I don't know.
Well, I'm always excited to go to the tailgates and fly down there and hang out with everybody. But as far as the game is concerned, no, you're right. I could sit in the parking lot and watch it on the TV. I don't need to go into the stadium and see this garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because, you know, we spend a lot of our hard-earning dollars to come down there, and then you get this product on the field, and they don't seem like anything to change. And my thing and then the other thing with me, I think with Ross, I think the reason Greer's not there, the more and more we keep talking about it, I think he's blackmailed right now. I think he's waiting for this Flores stuff to clear up, and then I think stuff's going to change. And now that Flores got this case to where he's being able to get heard, I think that's one reason. I think Ross does care about this team. I mean, but if you're being blackmailed and you can only do so much, you know, your hands are tied.
Then don't put yourself in a position where you can get blackmailed.
Well, I agree with that, but I think now it's a little too late, and you know your hands are tied, and you made a stupid decision, and you don't want to hurt the franchise anymore, and he doesn't want to waste money.
And Derek, I joked around like this. The reason why Greer's around, as long as he knows where the bodies are buried. That's why there is no way an incompetent guy like that should be in this franchise for 20 years. He probably knows where all the bodies are buried. That's why Ross has kept him around so long. So if he had fired Greer sooner, he would have released all the stuff.
Right, and then just same with like our the people that take care of our injured players. We still have more injured people on our team at the trainers and stuff. It's terrible. Like, it's still the same people over and over. Like, and that guy's been there forever. It's like they just know something. Eventually, we just got to take this hit and clear house. But it's, you know, I think we're also scared to do it.
Well, listen, in the offseason, what were they saying? Oh, we're doing a soft reset. There is no such thing as a soft reset. You're either rebuilding or you're not. There's no such thing as a soft reset. I've never heard that in my life until this year.
Right.
Well, evidently we're rebuilding because we're 0-3 and we look like crap.
I mean, did we play well against Buffalo? Yes. I think McDaniels come out. That's why they hired McDaniels. I mean, if Tua didn't throw the pick, and like you said, if Sealer wasn't put in there on the punt return, we had major mistakes. If we didn't have them, do I think we win? Yes, I do. And for once, we can't blame McDaniel for that game. He came out with a hell of a game plan. I mean, I wasn't happy with all the screens, and there was a couple screens that we got nailed in the backfield quite a bit. But again, we stopped running the ball. We stopped running Ollie Gordon towards the end. I don't understand why we just stopped.
Because McDaniel is from the Shanahan tree, and the Shanahan tree is don't run the ball in the fourth quarter.
And as long as we keep doing that, we're never going to win anything.
Well, that's why Shanahan hasn't won he didn't win a Super Bowl. Why? Because he had a lead and stopped running the ball.
Yep.
Should have won that Super Bowl, but your dumbass stops running and you let him back in the game because you keep giving the ball back to him.
Only the real survive. Welcome to the panel, my brother.
What's up, Only Real?
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
How y'all doing, fellas?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good myself. Can I
Absolutely. Go ahead.
A different perspective on this Mike McDaniel situation?
Have
Go
at
right
it.
ahead.
So we look at film and we harp on how much meat on the bone Tua is leaving, right? So if Tua is leaving players open and plays on the field, which sometimes in return could equal touchdowns, isn't that like saying that the system is working? I mean, even when we do have backup quarterbacks and come in here and they don't perform well, how long do they have till they get accustomed to this system to where they can make an impact? Like even with, Tyler Huntley came in, how long did he have before he got thrust in and had to learn to play?
6 days.
And when it comes to, per se, Skylar Thompson, Skylar did kind of perform, good in that playoff game. It's just unfortunate that our main player came back from injury and started where he picked up. And again, with him not being able to adjust and, stop calling run plays and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, when you are building your team around a limited player, it has you going to get players that are limited themselves, because the one player that you're building around doesn't have a wide range of abilities that they can do, which in return makes you go get players that can do other things, so I understand what we're saying about Mike and not having players to do certain things. But again, that comes back to this organization trying to keep Tua and wanting to build around Tua. Tua is limited in a lot of things that he does. So that means you're going to have to go get people that fit his strengths. And his strengths is, supposed to have been accuracy and anticipation, which has quickly diminished in 2 years, So I just, I'm with y'all with getting rid of Greer, but I feel like let's give Mike McDaniel the Ryan Tannehill treatment. Let's keep a head coach here as long as we can and see if we can, have some stability at that spot before we just sit here and ready to move off of them. Because if we do get rid of Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer at the same time, who is lined up to want to take over? And on top of that, would we be getting somebody that is better than Mike McDaniel? Because when we look at film and look at the the system and everything, we do see players open. We just not seeing a quarterback that is hitting what the defense is giving him. You know, he's following script, and the defense is taking away his script, which in return is still a part of the same paragraph. I mean, he might be on a different sentence, but in the same paragraph, you might have somebody over here on at the bottom end of the paragraph that, you know, that puts everything in full circle, if you get what I'm saying. So I just feel like let's get rid of some of these players that are injury prone, and as you say, you never heard of a soft build, or don't know such thing as a soft build. That would be considered a soft build if we just keep what we have at the head, get rid of some of these players that we think is injury prone and we can move off of, that we're not going to keep and we're not going to do nothing with. Because right now, what are we winning with A-Chain? A-Chain is a valuable asset right now. We could trade him off. We can get some picks for him, and we can actually get some players that is versatile to where we can really build this thing. You know, that's just my opinion, though.
Well, I mean, getting rid of it, Chan right now would not be good because he's still under his rookie contract. You know, I
But
mean,
see,
unless
that's the
somebody
thing,
jumps
though.
up and says, "Hey, I'll give you a first-round pick for him," yeah, then maybe you think about it. I mean, you've stuck yourself with a $55 million quarterback, two $30 million a year wide receivers. I mean, you know, the amount of money you have tied up in those three players is just absurd.
But keeping A-Chain ain't gonna do nothing but stick you back in another problem of, should we pay him or should we just let him walk for free?
Right. No, I agree. And that's another MO of Greer is keep them here for 4 years and then let them walk and get their bag somewhere else. And we don't keep them, even though it's homegrown, homegrown
Oh,
talent. We drafted them. We taught them the system and then they go somewhere else and, they get more money and have a decent career. I mean, it's a vicious cycle we've been going through for 25 years.
right. So what you do is you get ahead of the curve somewhere. So right now, like, y'all saw the Buffalo game. Y'all saw every time one of them defensive linemen wrapped his hands around A-Chain, he was basically getting slammed in the ground. Like, if you didn't see that, then I don't know what you was watching. But what I'm saying is, A-Chain is our most valuable asset right now, and we're not going to win anything with him. Why not go ahead and get what you can get for him at the highest of his highs of his career, reap the benefit, and move on and let him go somewhere and have a good career if that's what's going to happen. I mean, you got to bite the bullet one way or another. There's no just, okay, we should keep A-Chain and sign him for a big contract. And then next thing you know, we still stuck in the same boat as giving Tua a big contract. And then we ended up, because the way it's going right now, how many touches you think A-Chain going to get this year? And you think is he going to be fully healthy for next year, garnished or granted that he don't see injury this year?
No, I mean, I understand your point. I definitely do. I mean, but you got bigger guys. You could trade Hill if somebody's willing to take his contract and get that money off the books to create space. You could trade Waddle. I mean, yeah, you don't want to get rid of both of them because then you don't have a number one receiver. But at this point, the hell does it matter?
Yeah,
We're old.
that's my whole point. At this point, like, and even with that Carolina game is what, week 5? That's going to be at a pivotal moment in the season, because we could possibly be going into that game 0-4.
Well, Monday night we could be playing the Jets and we could both be 0-3. So, you got that one first. First, you got the Jets game on Monday night. If Jets lose to Tampa this week, they're 0-3. We're 0-3, and we get Monday night at the Hard Rock with two shitty teams.
Right. Only the real survivor, but I agree. But I don't agree with getting rid of A-Chan because, I mean, look at how many fire sales we've done in the past with Greer, and Greer's always fumbled it. And then he screwed it up, and then let's bring somebody in. Let's keep bringing some injured players in, and then you get rid of a superstar, and Greer keeps missing. History has proven himself with Greer. Greer's bringing in half-caliber players, or they were good 10 years ago, and then we just constantly keep doing this vicious cycle over and over and over. And we're never getting any better. I think we need to keep the homegrown talent, the guys that are performing. We need to keep them there. The problem is we've been getting rid of our guys or not re-signing them after the 4 years when they deserve the contract.
But see, the main thing is,
but I agree with you about using them and using them a little too much at times. Yes. But we still need to keep our homegrown talent. If we had all these guys in the last 10 years that were still on our team, we probably would have had a Super Bowl by now.
But see, the thing is, when you keep in homegrown talent, you're supposed to be having homegrown talent already. And the problem is, just like the situation with Jarvis Landry, you know what I'm saying? You were supposed to get something for Jarvis Landry or re-sign him. You don't just let him walk. And we just let everybody walk. And history shows that A-Chain is going to walk.
Right. I mean, it's not necessarily they're going to walk. It's just Greer has not pulled the trigger to put, to keep him there, or he lets him go and thinks he can do better, and we don't. So we've been screwed either way. That's the problem. Like it comes down to Greer's just not doing what he needs to do, and it's been affecting our team over and over and over again. Again, it's this vicious cycle that Greer doesn't know what he's doing at certain times. I mean, he's done some good picks, but like John Harris said, you couldn't pay me 3 times or even 100 times of what Greer makes it's going to be one of the hardest jobs in the world, to make that happen.
No, I mean, I agree with it. It's Greer. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, like, at some point, because when it comes to us, we either we $1 short every time. Every time. We supposed to move off a year before. We too late. We're supposed to wait a year. No, we moved up a year. Like, we're supposed to wait a year to get to his contract extension. No, we did it early. We were supposed to, it's just certain things we were supposed to do that we didn't do. And like I said, I agree with you on the Greer part. I feel like we do need to get rid of Greer. But I just think this Mike McDaniel situation, I feel like Mike McDaniel is just trying to show us that, is trying to really save his job by putting on tape that Tua is not the guy, by giving him the ball when the game matters, because this is your $50 million quarterback. He's supposed to want the ball in his hands. You see Josh Allen over there at the end of the game. He wants the ball in his hands. He's not saying, well, let's go to a run game or this, that, and the third. Like, you're supposed to want to put the ball in the hands of the highest paid player if we going by the dollars. Now, if we going by the skills, then okay, that's different. Yeah, the ball need to be in A-Chain and Tyreek and Waddle hands. But if we going by the pay, then, the pay says the ball need to be in Tua hands.
Right.
No, you're 100% right there.
I think Tua will never be elite, but I think he still has the ability to win games, but he needs everybody around him. Tua can't overcome for one player making a mistake in like a route or something. He needs everything to be 100%. If something's just one little thing is off, it throws him off. He doesn't know how to recalibrate himself to make it happen.
Right, because even with A-Chain stepping out of bounds in that Patriots game, it shouldn't have mattered. Even when Zach Zeeler, roughing the kicker, it shouldn't have mattered. It just comes down to. I mean,
A-Chain I agree with, but the Sealer, I don't care any team like that when you're playing the best.
I get it, but
when you're playing the best player, Josh Allen, in the NFL, and you give him a chance to come back on the field when you've struggled stopping him throughout most of the game, and then your defense finally makes it.
I agree. What I'm saying is at the end of the game, when your quarterback has an opportunity to tie the game and put it back and put the onus back on your defense to take this into overtime, then everything is a wash. Correct?
Right. I agree.
Okay, let's welcome.
That's the only reason why I say that Zach Zeeler of the roughing the kicker for the Zach Zeeler was a wash at that point, because you were still in position to at least go into overtime and have a shot at winning this game. Like, I ain't saying it wasn't big, but I'm just saying it's a wash. A wash means, okay, we even kneeled now. Everything we almost back at square one.
Let's welcome Cat in the Hat to the panel, guys.
What's up, Cat in the Hat?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome,
fellas?
Cat in the Hat. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. You ready for a Sunday football with no stress-free Sunday?
Yeah, my liver will be happy. I don't have to drink all this Fireball and this good liquor I have. I'm saving it for Monday night.
I feel like we're still gonna be stressed because we're gonna be looking at these quarterbacks do for their team and be torn up about Thursday night.
Nah, we just gotta enjoy some football today. I'm ready for that Monday night game. That Detroit-Baltimore game is gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Sit back, relax, and just watch some good football today.
Yep, I'm going to sit back, watch it too. Win or lose, I still bleed aqua and orange, and I'm still excited about coming down to the Monday night. I got all the family coming in from Maryland for me that I get to see, and then I still get to come down and hang out with Papa Paul and Johnny O. So win or lose, I'm still there. You know what I mean?
I won't be there, Derek.
You're not going to be at Monday night game?
No, sir.
Oh, man.
The wife couldn't get off, and I just had some things come up that I'll tell you about another time. And
yes, sir.
I'll be down there.
Well, let me know, Paul. Get a hold of me here before I'll call you today before we get off the air, or I mean later tonight or something, or this week. We'll talk.
I'll call you later.
Yep. So, no matter what, like I said, I'm going to just watch football because I love football in general. It sucks that our team isn't elite like we want them to be, but it's tough. But we just keep pushing through.
So I want to talk about Darrell Bevell, right? Our quarterback coach we signed in 2022. Why aren't any of us like putting this guy under the microscope after watching him try to develop multiple quarterbacks in this system and fail? And
I mean, I really feel like why should we put him under a microscope when all these other years Tua went off and tried to better himself, and look where it got us. I mean, I get what you're saying. You're not wrong. But at the same time, how can you put him under a microscope when Tua went out on his own to try to get better?
Well, because I'm not just looking at Tua, Kenna, because he's the quarterback coach, right? So let's look at Skylar Thompson. Let's take Skylar Thompson, for example, a rookie that we drafted the same year. Hold on. A rookie that we drafted the same year we brought Darrell Bevell in, right? Skylar Thompson came out. He looked pretty decent in that Buffalo game. Not great, but pretty decent. Looked like he had promise. So we kept him around. And then what happened with Skylar Thompson? He did nothing but regret. We had multiple quarterbacks in our system under this guy, Darrell Bevell, and none of them were able to figure it out. None of them were able to get better as quarterbacks. We're watching Tua just continuously make the wrong mistakes and instead of progressing, he's regressing. So, I mean, I'm looking at the quarterback coach in this situation because it's not just Tua. It's other quarterbacks that have failed as well.
I mean, I kind of disagree with you there. I don't think they're letting Bevell. You know, he's probably one of the best coaches on our team. Look what he's done with all the other quarterbacks. I think McDaniels and Frank Smith are handicapping this guy, not letting him do it. I think if once McDaniel and them go, and he's still there, I think you're going to see a major difference. I don't think they're letting him give the input that he should be doing there. I mean, and you got to agree, Tua has gotten better since Bevell came. You look at the stats, the numbers. I mean, it's not the greatest, but he's gotten better.
So,
but he hasn't gotten better. He's in year 6 and he can't call his own plays. He can't read the field.
And that's not Bevell's fault though. That's McDaniel not letting him run the system. I mean, I agreed the same thing. I said to be an elite quarterback, you need to be able. You got them plays on your wrist, but the playbook is so hard that there's not enough time to tell everybody everything they need to do, and that's on McDaniels and the offensive coordinator. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think there's issues with Bevell too, but I still think if Bevell had the offensive playing call and had a lot more say, I think there'd be a lot more change.
Yeah, I totally disagree with you. If Bevell was calling the plays and running the offense, I could see your point, but he's not. McDaniel is. So until McDaniel gives up play calling and makes these goddamn plays easier to get in, so Tua can walk up to the line with 10 or 12 seconds left and look at the defense.
You guys are just looking at it from a game day perspective, game day for those couple hours that they're on the field for that 60 minutes of football. I'm looking at all the fine-tuned fine-tune details in between game days where it's like this guy is with the quarterbacks in this moment, right? He's supposed to be teaching these guys how to be better quarterbacks, how to learn how to play their position better. And like, I'm not seeing progression from our quarterbacks.
How can you say that when McDaniel doesn't change the playbook for any quarterback that's in there? It's the exact same playbook, whether it's Tua or Skyler or anybody else. Skyler is
we
not
already
Tua.
know that, and that's why Mike McDaniel's under the microscope already, and like that's why we're already like having Mike McDaniel in our conversations. I'm just trying to point out that maybe Darrell Bevell should be in some of our conversations as well.
Nah, I don't agree. Not at all.
You know, here's my thing. Say if you're in like a board meeting or you're at work or something and you give out your great opinions for something, you know it's going to work because you're working with the guys, but then the higher up, we're like, no, we're going to go our separate way. I think Bevel's kind of basically taking a step back and saying, you know what, they don't want to listen to my shit. That's fine. We'll let them fail. I mean, that's the way I feel because, I mean, look what he's done. Look what Bevel has
if
done.
that's the case too, though, do you really want that kind of guy?
Mean anything to you guys? Personal work ethic doesn't mean anything to you guys. The fact that Tua doesn't go home and study the playbook on his own, the fact that Tua doesn't call meetings for the receivers to get together and work on their own, that doesn't mean anything. Like, I get what you're saying about pointing out the quarterback coach, but the fact that Tua doesn't do anything on his off time is a big issue, and part of the reason why you're not seeing progression the way we should see progression. These offensive coordinators and head coaches can't hold the player's hand but for so long. Right now, Tua is in year 5 to 6. He should be doing that on his own, bro.
No, I'm totally with you, bro. I'm totally with you. And like when we clean house, like I'm just saying that I feel like Darrell Bevell should be part of that cleaning house because he's been here since 2022. He's part of the problem. I feel like he needs to go to Mike McDaniel. Although I do got to give props to Mike McDaniel in the way that he finished that first half against Buffalo, like not letting them get the ball back before halftime, knowing that they could fucking go and score twice on us. And back to back, like that was impressive. But I mean, he still made too many bad coaching calls before this. So,
right. I mean, I still say, yeah, you're right about having a little. Everybody deserves blame. I mean, one thing too that Bevel I would think could work with him and be like, hey man, we really got to fix you staring down these receivers. Stare down another receiver and then go somewhere else with it. I mean, that's something I could see maybe he could help change, but. You're talking the lowest guy on the offense right now. The quarterback coach doesn't have that much say, and it's sad because he's got a lot of experience, and it just it comes down to big head genius McDaniels. He thinks he's better and brighter than everybody, and it's showing that he can't. You need to start relying on some other people.
Yeah, and one of Tua's biggest problems this year is most people don't know Tua spent most of the offseason in Hawaii. He didn't even come back to this side. So he wasn't working out with his receivers. If he's not reading his playbook and all he's doing is hanging out with his family, yeah, there is no progression because he didn't do a goddamn thing in the offseason.
Right. We paid him on a yacht.
Right. We paid him. He got his big contract, and then he stayed in Hawaii all year. Come on, give me a break, bro. Other quarterbacks, you see them. Oh, this guy was out in Southern California working out with his receivers. This guy was down in Florida working out with his receivers.
All I'm saying.
And Tua wasn't doing a goddamn thing, and it shows. What's he got? 7 touchdowns and 7 picks? Give me a break.
And
you're a $55 million quarterback. I'm not blaming
complain that he's not as good as Josh Allen, this and that. Well, if you don't put the work in, you ain't gonna be good at nothing.
Right. It takes practice. It takes work. You think Josh Allen sat home all off season? No, he was probably out there throwing with his receivers and reading his playbook and diagnosing things and looking at film, and who the hell knows what Tua was doing. He was enjoying his time in Hawaii with his family.
Because as it shows Thursday night, Tua, you can get out and run. Tua, you can throw on the run. The fact is, he's too fucking lazy to put in the effort and do the real hard work and actually develop and becoming a better quarterback than what he is right now. That's what my thing is.
He's not good under pressure for sure. Like he definitely folds under pressure, like big time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if your boss said you had insufficiencies in certain areas and you went and worked on them and got better at them, your boss wouldn't complain anymore. When you don't go and work at it, your boss is still going to come to you with the same complaints, and eventually you might be out of a job because you're not getting any damn better. Playing quarterback is no different. Playing receiver is no different. You got to put in the work. You got to watch film. You got to understand how the defense is lining up. And yes, McDaniel handicaps him because he doesn't get the goddamn play in quick enough, and we've been saying that for far too long.
So then the real question is for us Dolphin fans, like, do you think if we drop to 0-4, we might get to see a different quarterback start in week 5, or do you think because of the mediocre performance that the offense has put together thus far, do you think they're gonna just let it ride?
I hope we see it at halftime and to
I think they'll
well,
let it ride.
we've already learned from Mike McDaniel in the past that, like, we're not going to see a switch like that at halftime unless it's an injury.
Yeah,
I think they're going to let it ride. I think they're going to let it ride because we have $55 million on there, and McDaniel's come in, the whole phone call on the plane. I'm going to make you a better quarterback. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but that was what, 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago, right? I mean, at this point, like, Mike McDaniel knows his job is on the line, and like kind of what Kenna was saying, like he's been kind of calling plays and he's been kind of running this offense to make it look like it's not McDaniel that's the problem. It is Tua that's the problem, and we all know Tua is definitely the biggest problem in all of our problems. Like, he's not the only problem, but he is the biggest.
Starts with the coach.
So, like, I if Mike McDaniel wants to save his job, he would put the play or the checkbook aside and probably try and play someone else.
That's not going to happen, and McDaniel's too stubborn and too stupid to do it.
If you put Bevel as your offensive coordinator and have him running the plays a little bit more,
I don't know, guys,
and help Tua be able to do stuff at the line and stuff and start calling plays, I mean, I think it'd be a major difference.
Yeah, but
guys, we
still
just look at the film and see that a lot of plays are open and Tua never looks there. And, just imagine, like, if we could look at the all 22 together and we see some receivers that if only Tua would have looked that way, he would have saw that, we probably wouldn't be having a lot of these questions that we are having about Mike McDaniel. And
no, because Mike McDaniel's system is exactly what is run. It's a timing pattern. The ball is supposed to be thrown at this time to this spot. Tua is not supposed to look around and try to find the open guy. Everything is predicated on timing. So that's McDaniel. It's got nothing to do with Tua. Tua is running the plays that are called.
But
McDaniel makes these plays.
But how? So if off of that logic right there, bro, you are basically saying anybody that run off script in this offense doesn't know how to run this offense. Then
basically what he's saying is it wouldn't matter what quarterback's back there; they would all look the same.
I get that. But what I'm trying to point out is no matter how much a play is scripted to go there, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So therefore, you have to improvise as a quarterback.
Right, but Tua is the only quarterback that can have like 4 seconds and still not make a play. His numbers are worse when he's over 2 seconds. That's
all I'm saying, though, because I know when Mike McDaniel draw up plays.
Well, hold on.
I get it's a primary guy, but there's also a backside of the play.
It's not always the system either, too, because like sometimes the guys give up on the plays, man. Like I've seen, like you see Tyreek Hill just slow down and trot off field. Like people aren't like trying to get open when time gets like the more time that goes by.
So that's because they know that the quarterback is not going to hit you on any given play.
Right, but at the same time, like if you're running that play at full speed, maybe you get open and he actually is able to get it to you. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we can't just say that like he gets worse when he gets more time because like his receivers and everybody gives up once it gets to that point.
Well, you got to remember, they're not used to doing that. They're used to the timing right. If you're used to going like, hey, first 4 seconds, if the ball ain't coming to me, I stop. That's the difference.
Well, championship teams find ways to win games.
Correct. But when Tua is worse than when he comes out like that because the guys stop. And then every time you notice when Tua's out scrambling or trying to run a little bit, he has nobody open because the guys don't know what to do. If you don't practice it, you're not going to be able to execute.
You don't practice off script on practice time. Like a lot of guys just practice backyard football because if the play don't work out, we got to scramble and make something work. It ain't just the end of the play. Like
that's why
Go ahead.
And that
First couple
comes to
reads for Josh
McDaniel.
Allen. If the first couple reads for Josh Allen, if the first couple reads for Allen are not good, he scrambles. Yeah, he can still run somebody over, but then how many plays has that man made after 5, 6, 7 seconds running and scrambling to throw the ball?
That's just like Thursday night.
Helping it.
You know, how many times did Tyreek just randomly show up when Tua tried to keep it going?
Yep.
We seen it a lot. So basically what we're saying is we know that the play is supposed to go a certain area, but that's what they call the wrinkles. So we could take the same play, and instead of going here, we're gonna go there because that was open. Like that's what the wrinkles are. And Tua's not learning the playbook enough to even compromise the even
Oh, I don't know that he has.
the
I don't know.
wrinkles.
It's not learning the playbook. I think if McDaniel isn't practicing those things and preaching those things, it's not going to get done. You know, there are coaches in the NFL that will extend a play during practice and say, "Okay, this happened here. This is what are you looking for? Move around." McDaniel doesn't do that. McDaniel is all about timing.
But you only do that when you have a quarterback that can show that he can handle that. That's what I'm saying. It all comes back to what your quarterback can and can't handle.
No, there's a problem there.
Well, I mean, this is where it's time for Mike McDaniel to adjust, because through 3 games, like, you're seeing that Tua has developed more time back there in the pocket to be able to do this. So now this is time for Mike McDaniel to show us that he can make adjustments and he can get it together. These are the things. These are why Mike McDaniel's under the microscope. It's because he can't make adjustments. He makes bad coaching calls. Like, he's bad with timing. Like, it's not necessarily the play calls.
Could his hands be tied though?
He only wants to work on what Boyd Genius wants to work on.
Like that.
No.
It's. I appreciate y'all for joining us and everything, but it's time to call it a show. Come on back Wednesday night and bring us the same talk, and we'll keep it going.
Oh, I'll be talking fantasy. I'll be talking fantasy football Wednesday night, man.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us anytime. We're on every Sunday at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
All right.
Peace, love, and fins up, ball.
Fins up, guys.
Fins up, guys.